A lot of these kids like to play tug of war and not share. I don't know if you have any advice. If you do, please, on how we can eliminate that when it starts to end up tearing and then pushing and getting to a more escalated.
Yeah, so it's good that you're able to identify when things are getting out of hand, right? So that's a great time to kind of like get the whole class to stop what they're doing, and maybe you can play like Simon Says kind of game. So you want to get everybody back on track. So if you have a couple of tables and then like this table is starting to get riled up or they're not listening, maybe get the whole class engaged and focused on you, and then get their attention, and then go over the rules and expectations. Or also understanding like how much time is appropriate for each activity. So maybe you need to shorten the amount of time they're given to participate in that activity, so that way it doesn't get to that point where it's out of control. So think of it that way. So like you can say, okay, this activity, everybody's going to do rotations, and each one is 3 minutes, and you can use the timer for that. And then go over the rules and expectations. And then if you do see one or two kids who are just having a really hard time, that's when you have your little calming corner in the back of the room, and then you tell them, okay, it's time for you to go to the calming corner. And once you're calm and regulated, then you can transition back. So having a little center in the classroom where they can go to kind of get their attention off of what they're doing and then onto something else, so redirect them. Also, like I said before, it depends on the kiddos how mature they are, but maybe we could use some tickets now, like, oh, I am praising those kids that are doing a good job. Oh, you're doing great, I'm going to give you a ticket, you're doing great. Because some kids feed off of that as well. When they see other kids being rewarded, and they're like, oh, I want to be rewarded too, so I better modify my behavior. So you can use the tickets. The reward charts, this isn't meant for every student in your class, because not every student necessarily needs this. This isn't meant for this is a tool for those kiddos that need this to help them, right? So maybe that one kiddo you're talking about is the one you want to create a reward chart for, and you want to have it close to them so they can be reminded of it. So either I tape it onto the table where they sit at, or close enough to them, so that way you could praise their good expected behavior. And I never say bad or good behavior, but I'll say expected and unexpected behavior. So when they're doing some things that are expected of them, they automatically get this sticker. And so at first, when I first introduced this, I go through this really fast, because I'm not going to be like, you have to finish the entire activity appropriately or expectedly for you to earn your sticker. No, every minute or so I might give them a sticker, so they really find this intriguing and motivating, and then they learn how this is used, and then I can start going slower and slower with giving out the stickers. So I want to use this as a tool to also help them recognize how to regulate their body. And again, the biggest tool of everything is you, right? So as long as you're teaching them how to be co-regulated, so if you stay calm, right, and if you are able to handle the situation calmly, even though it can be very frustrating, they're learning from you how they should be behaving. Another thing to consider is some kiddos feed off of your attention. When we give them too much attention, they seek it, and so they'll act out. So what I'll do is I'll actually ignore kids. So I'll actually turn my body away from them, literally, and look at somebody else and verbally say, wow, Michael, I am so proud of you, you're paying attention. And so they're learning that you're not feeding into that behavior, but you are feeding into positive behavior. So because you're not giving them what they're seeking, maybe they're seeking that attention from you, they're going to start changing the behavior to ways to get your attention. And so they're going to learn, oh, well, Michael gets your attention when he acts this way, but maybe I should change my behavior. So I would always say the number one tool, the first thing you need to think about is you. What is going on with you? how can you be a tool right now at the moment? And, you know, try to be as composed as you can, because they're learning about their body from watching you behave. And then once you do that, but they're still acting out, use an actual tangible tool. And I know this is a lot of stuff here, but this is everything pretty much I use in my therapy. So I just brought it all in here. So do I use everything here at every moment of the day? No, but I wanted to share all of this with you. Was that helpful?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome.